Well, hi, welcome to Simply Awake. I'm John Ladman. Today I want to cover something that I call building castles in the air. And that means that the primary source of stress for you and me is any set of thoughts that create something from nothing. And this is actually from my recent Substack post. So I'm just going to try to put this on video for you so that you get inflection and expression and all that with it. And it's a little more personal. And as you know, this is early attempts at recording videos for what I now know is the 21st century audience preference for videos. So here we go. And whether I'm working with therapy clients who want relief from stress and negative emotions, or students of enlightenment and liberation who want to wake up, I always start teaching people about thought first. Pernille Lent-D'Amour in her YouTube videos talks about how often we create something out of nothing. And though I no longer pursue her awakening curriculum, I found this phrase to be spot on. It's really an excellent way of describing what we humans do with our thoughts. A thought's always a representation of reality or a representation of other thought. Thought is not reality. Oh, surprise, really? Wait a minute, I thought thought was reality. Haven't I lived most of my life in my thoughts? Haven't you? Right? So when people are suffering a lot of stress, I usually ask them, what are you thinking about? Not that their emotions aren't also important, they are, but often even the emotion is coming from thought. So I get people to look at thought. And since human beings primarily pay attention to thought, and thought isn't reality, and our bodies respond well to reality, and respond badly to thought, especially false thought, I try to put people back in touch with reality. Our bodies don't respond well to thought because not only is thought just a representation of reality, but a lot of thoughts are inherently false. Thoughts about our so-called self, thoughts about other people, what they're saying, thinking, and doing, usually about us, thoughts about the future, all those kinds of thoughts are full of identifiable lies if we'll just take a look, which we usually don't do. And so what do I mean by reality? I mean the seven senses that create the sense of being alive. Taste, touch, smell, sight, sound, proprioception, the body's position in space, and the vestibular sense, or the sense of the body's balance. I want therapy clients or liberation students to find immediate reduction in their anxiety or stress. And if that's the case, I run through a very simple exercise. I get them to move their attention out of their thoughts and into the experience of their senses. You could do the same right now. But first, start and scan your body and notice how tense or stressed you feel. Just kind of take a look. Close your eyes. Just take a breath for a minute and just notice, oh gosh, my jaw is tight. My upper shoulders are tight. My neck is tight. My belly's tight. My feet are even tight. My toes are curling. Okay. So once you've scanned and noticed how tense you are, now sitting or standing where you are, move your attention away from your thoughts about what I'm saying or other distractions and into your senses. Don't just name what you're sensing in your mind because that's more of the same thinking. Simply pay attention to the senses. Sense them. What are you seeing? Ah, lots of color in this room. What are you smelling? What does your adult weight feel like on the chair, or the weight of your feet pressed against the floor? Are you tasting anything? Maybe the leftover coffee you just finished. What's the temperature of the air surrounding your skin right now? What's your body's position in space? Remember this, right? Does your body feel like it's balanced? Leaning left or right? Leaning forward or leaning back? Now, with all those sensory experiences happening simultaneously and just noticing all of them happening, take just 3 deep breaths slowly in and out. Keep your eyes open if you like the visual field, closed if it helps you to relax just a little bit more. Nice, easy, slow breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. I'm just going out through the mouth so I can talk to you. And in again and out again and in again and out again. Now stop and take notice, take an overall snapshot of how your body feels after this little short practice that we just did. Almost anyone who does this short exercise is going to notice a sense of relaxation in the body. What we've done is a kind of meditation, not as formal as how we usually think of meditation, but it's a meditation nonetheless. Maybe you just feel 1% less stressed, or maybe 5%, or even 10%. And if you can do this exercise for longer than 3 breaths, the amount of relief that you get from the sense of tension in your body right now will increase. But how many of us take any amount of time away from our own thoughts or doom scrolling the thoughts of others on social media? Not many. Do we really get any relief from that doom scrolling? I don't think so. Many of us are learning that we don't get any relief and we get more stressed. Or in my case, I get irritated and annoyed at the amount of junk I'm reading, trying to find something useful and truthful on social media. So instead of 5 minutes of doom scrolling, try 5 minutes of just paying attention to all the content flowing into your various senses. Not your thoughts. Okay, they might kind of go in the background a little bit, like pretend they're kind of back here going across the back of your head. Don't pay attention to them, but pay attention to all the content flowing into those senses of yours. And don't forget to breathe. You may notice a significant reduction in your stress levels. Your heart rate might slow down. Actually, probably will. Your respiration rate could slow. You may feel like your blood pressure even goes down a notch. Okay, how come? Your connection with your body and its senses is your connection to the truest form of reality that we're all intimately part of. It's not just that we're connected to reality, we're enmeshed in it. There's no separating a me from the clock that's chiming in the background and from any other sensory experiences that keep pouring into existence. They are what we are. And so our innate sense of truth and stability and well-being is nourished by feeling those senses as they pour in, and our naturally occurring core emotions of love, contentment, freedom, and peace can arise and also be felt as we're paying attention to the other sensations. Emotions are, in reality, just a subset of all of our physical sensations. And why not enjoy the natural, wonderful emotions that are your birthright? Love, contentment, freedom, and peace. It's actually what you are in your essential self. Directing attention to the body and the senses and your intimate relationship to reality is going to calm you, center you, and bring you into the best experience of being human. Just like when you're sitting at the beach and just listening to the waves and feeling the sun on your face. Can you tell I'm looking forward to my vacation in about a month? Okay. Just like that, you really can feel wonderfully human when you're resting in your senses because you're really noticing that you're intertwined with reality. Now, obviously, none of this is true if you're in any physical danger, you're being abused or assaulted in some way. But if that's the case, get yourself out of danger as quickly as possible. Anytime you return to your thoughts, which generate mostly on the left side of the brain, you're one step further away from reality and its comfort. And if your thoughts are also untruthful or inaccurate, which isn't your fault, it's just how they show up. You were taught to believe them and you may never have questioned them until now. So if your thoughts are untruthful or inaccurate, you will feel inherently stressed. As the recently retired spiritual master Adyashanti taught, the body is a great truth meter. The body loves truth. And when the brain starts cranking out inaccuracies, falsehoods, lies, wishes, wants, and fantasies, all of which could be called lies of one kind or another, the body gets mighty uncomfortable. It's kind of like if you are given a lie detector test, your body's wired up to this machine that can register the physiological change for the worse, by the way, when you're telling a lie out loud versus when you're telling the truth. The machine can register that because your body registers it. So if you're telling yourself to calm down, or using even more colorful language than that, you might try challenging the many false thoughts your mind is generating, and or just move your attention back to your seven senses. This will help you almost immediately get a taste of the peace, contentment, love for life, others, and yourself, and freedom that's your natural birthright. So don't build castles in the air out of thought, because usually they come crumbling down on you and knock you flat. One way or another, you're going to feel bad if you're building castles in the air. Instead, stay intertwined with the reality of your senses, a practice sometimes called mindfulness. And you're going to just feel a lot better in your everyday human life. And that's all from me for now in this video session. Thanks for listening, and welcome back anytime. Bye.